wasn't going to be back till after Thanksgiving, but I had some new developments while I was working on things for my craft show. And I wanted to share them with you because they're rather simple but elegant, and you still have time to make them for Christmas presents or to hang them on your Christmas tree. And what they are, I decided I wanted to make some dress ornaments that would be easy and fast for the craft show. So I came up with this. I drew me up a pattern that I liked, and of course I folded it in half to make sure it was even on both sides. And I'm going to be offering this pattern in my Facebook group for free. And there will be two sizes. You print it out on an 8.5 by 11 piece of paper. And there'll be this size here and then a smaller size. And the reason I did the smaller size is because I also did them in paper. Isn't that cool? Paper. Now I didn't do a hanger here yet, but I'm going to show you how to do the hangers. And all this is music paper, a little bit of lace. These are ivy leaves that I cut with my die cutting machine. And then I inked them with some, I think it's it's that darker, it's not black, it's not vintage photo, it's in between. It's like a brownish, I would call it soft black, but I know that's not the ink name, but that's what I used anyways. And I put some coffee dyed trim on the bottoms, some lace, some old gold trim that I had as well, that I've had for 25 years, so you're not going to find it anywhere. I have a lot of it. But I don't know where the rest of it is. I mean, I found this much. I was pretty happy with that. I used to have it in a drawer with all my other trims, but I have so many trims now I can't get to the bottom of it. Someday I will. And anyways, this is just music paper, pleated, and I will show you how I did that. And then on the back, this is a nice, pretty cardstock scrapbook paper that I had purchased. It was a 6x6 pad, and I have never used it. So now I'm using it on the back of these. On this, I am going to show you how to make these. I promise you, I'm not going to leave you in the lurch. These are just pre-gathered. And then this is, let me see, where is it here? It's that chenille yarn. It comes in a skein. I got it at Hobby Lobby. And I've got some other stuff mixed in there, unfortunately. But it's this real pretty chenille. It's white. Got it at Hobby Lobby. And that's all that's there. And then this is, where did I put it? I did bring it. Okay, this I got at Walmart, and you can get it in gold. Oh no, wait, dollar store. Gold and silver. It's in a, like a plastic case. You've seen it. It's a whole reel of this kind of stuff with the stars, the tinsel. It's $1.25 now. But that's what I used on this dress here. I used the gold and I used the silver here. Some seam binding that I've had for a long time. And then these flowers on the red maroon dresses are from another dress that I salvaged and rescued from Goodwill. And I took them off and put them on here. Now this one is longer because I made 3 rows of ruffles. And this is pre-gathered trim. You know how long ago this was? 50 cents a yard. Clearance 99. Okay, clearance was 99. Now it's 50 cents a yard. I don't even know where I got this or how long, but it's pre-gathered. And I gathered it up again by hand because I wanted it a little fuller than this. Wasn't full enough for me, so I gathered it, which didn't take long at all. And I put some lace, and this is a wedding gown lace with some pearls and sequins on it. And I'm going to show you, this is very vintage wedding gown trim in the 70s. Oh, I just love this. I got a lot of it. I will be sharing it with you when I get it all bundled up into something pretty, because I don't like to send out just fabric, just trim. And then I made bows for all of them, all of the hangers. I made the hangers, And oh, and I have also, I didn't forget the shabby chic people. I made a pink one as well, and this one is long, but it still will look pretty on a tree. That's what I'm thinking. Or you can always have it no matter. You don't have to hang it on a tree. You can hang it on a nail, you know, in your bedroom, in your bathroom. You could put a little sachet bag back here with lavender and hang it in a powder room. And then I did make the aqua too. And what I did here, these are ivy leaves that are green glitter that I bought at Hobby Lobby. And I just put a set under there. And I bought these, I thought I'd show you these flowers. I just got them at Hobby Lobby yesterday. And there's a row of pink ones too, but I didn't bring them over. And these are just so pretty. They're small. Now, I will warn you, they're $6 for one set of them. But if you can catch them when they're on sale, you're doing good. See, and I put this one on here, and I think it looks fine. I don't have poinsettias that are small enough to go on these little dresses. Now, these dresses measure approximately with the, I'm going to do the paper one, with the tops of the sleeves. They're 6 inches tall and approximately, let me see, 5 inches wide with the lace. But this is not. Okay, this is a little under 4 inches wide at the widest point, and it's only 4.5 this way, 4 this way. But you'll get to see that. You just print it out and cut it out of cardstock. You can see my common pins, my straight pin holes in there that I've been cutting out. And what I do, so we'll get right to it. What I do is I take a piece of felt, because felt does not run, okay? You can do it on paper, like I did here. I did this on paper. But these dresses here, all of these other dresses, I did with felt. So I'm going to show you that. I take a piece, you can, any color of felt as well. I used all white, but you can use any color you want and decorate it. That's the fun part, decorating it. Okay, let me get my glue gun up here. And I do have my glue sticks. I have everything, I think. We'll see how long that lasts. Okay, so what I did is I took some scrap lace. It's lightweight. You don't want to put a lot of heavy stuff on this. It's going to be hanging on a tree. And I have a silicone mat here. Maggie White shared this on some of her videos to use the spatula. You can get them at the Dollar Tree. Take the spatula ends off of a spatula you buy there, and they're silicone. So when you press down on the glue, you don't burn yourself, number one. Number two, it doesn't stick to your fingers. So I just kind of go right along the top here with my glue. I'm not worried about it because I'm going to cover most of it up. And then I'm going to lightly push it down. And then I do the whole thing, even though only half shows, because once you start decorating, you never know. You might want to, you might want it to be longer, and you don't want just white felt showing. So it's a good thing to do the whole piece with your lace, any kind of lace. I used aqua. You can't really see much of it, but I used that. Now this, I wanted it to look vintage. I used vintage lace, and it goes all the way down to the bottom of the dress, the pattern. And then added length by putting the first gathered row along the edge and not up. But you can do it any way you want. Okay, so this looks good. So I'm just going to quickly cut this out. Doesn't take that long. I meant to have one all cut out. I did forget to do that. What else is new? Okay. So we're just going to cut that. See, and with the lace, you don't have any ragged edges. You don't have to worry about raveling or anything like that, which is nice. You do want to be precise, though. Okay. so that's done. Quick, quick. Now, I'm going to do the red, this burgundy here. I hope it shows up good on the camera. This is pre-gathered. I like it just the way it is. So what I'm going to do is I'm just going to turn under this end, one end to start with. And I'm going to put a little dab of blue at the bottom as well, so it doesn't flare out on me while I'm trying to put it down. And I do go to the bottom, right along here. I just go up a little ways. Let's see, how far up did I go on this? Well, I can't really see it. No, I did go up further on this one. Oh, I know what I did. Okay. This bottom goes with this bottom. You can do it any way you want, but that's how I did that. I kind of matched the bottom, so it's about the same length as the pattern. Okay, so you have to arrange it though. And then, see what you can run into sometimes is you got a little corner sticking out. You just cut that off. Make sure you get it where you want it, and then go back and trim if you need to. So I'm going to do that. I want this to come out a little bit. And if I want to do some gathering up on my own, I can do that, but I don't think I do. So now I'm going to cut some of this. Now this one isn't going to be as good as the others because I'm kind of rushing through it. You know how that is when you're on camera and you know everybody's watching you. You're like, oh my God, I can't do it. Okay. So that looks good to me. I'm going to glue that part under there and down here. Then I'm going to glue it onto the felt. Ow. And there I have my first row of gathers, ruffles. Okay, so I'm going to come over here and I'm going to chop this off, and I know I did that with all of them. All of them except this one. This one I did it right at the edge, the bottom, which made it longer, as well as this one made it really longer by going right to the edge of the pattern with the ruffle. With this, I pleated it, and I'm going to show you how to do that, and I started it. I put it up at the waistline, so there was no problem there. Okay, so we've got our first row. Now we're going to do our second row, and I want it to come right to the waist. I'm going to turn this over, and I'm going to give it some glue. And just a little bit here so that it'll stay down like a good boy, good girl. Okay. And put this up. Now, Terry, if you're watching, you have some of this in the bag set you ordered last week that you got. You have some of this exact same burgundy trim, so you could use it and make yourself a pretty dress for your Christmas tree. Okay, with this, when I got to the top, I remember now. I've made enough of, too many of them to remember it. I do it different almost every time. I'm going to undo that. And I'm going to re-say what I said. I'm only going to turn it under on this one. I'm going to glue it at the waist, and then I'm going to glue it around. Okay, then we can glue it around. And that makes it nice and even. Okay. Glue this down. Glue this in the back. You might want to cut some off so you don't have so much bulk. You can do this any way you want. It's pretty easy. I wanted easy and fast. That's what I was going for. And that's what I came up with. Easy and fast. Now look at that. See, I would straighten that up a little more if I was sitting over at my desk like I did. These would all come out nice. But I want to show you how to do it. So then I took some of the chenille yarn and I just glued it on, and it seemed like for this particular trim I needed 2 rows. So that's what I did. Put another row up here. Kind of smushed it together so it doesn't have the red showing through. And then I just glue it around the back. Ow! Don't burn yourself. So my husband's always saying, don't burn yourself. Are you kidding me? You know how many burns I have on my hands? Oh my gosh. Okay. So then we do this side. Okay. So you have that. Then you take your tinsel, and I cut off all of the stars. This has stars in it. The one at Walmart, or you know what? I think Walmart sells it too, but it's cheaper at the dollar store. So that I think I got the. I just bought some more silver at the dollar store. I think I got these last year at Walmart. Doesn't really matter. They're available, which is nice. There's not a shortage on this like there is everything else. I can't even find peanut butter anymore. Oh my gosh, I live on bread and peanut butter, and I can't. It's just ridiculous. They don't sell my peanut butter anymore. Walmart. So I'm going somewhere else. The heck with them. Okay, so what you do is one side at a time, so you can see what you're doing. I get this out here. I don't know why I'm burning myself. I don't need to. Okay, and this is wire, so you can move it around and make it do what you want it to do. And you really can't tell a lot about the shape, but you give it somewhat of a shape. Just press it down and wrap it around. Okay. Probably not going to sell this one. This one looks, what a mess. Oh yeah, no, see, it doesn't have to be a mess, but I made it a mess. Oh my goodness. Okay, well this is just for show and tell anyways, it's not. Oh, yep, that's what I didn't bring, was this. Okay, I'm back, and I've got this. This is just old-fashioned seam binding. And what I do is I just cut off a little bit. Let's see, this is about 3 inches long. I do 2 of them, the same size, same length, I should say. And then I glue them in half. No, I don't glue them closed in half. Let me get this over here. I have a silicone mat, and I like to use that so that I don't get it on my good mat here. Just fold it over and glue. I hope I'm in camera. Okay. You leave the top part open because that's where you're going to put your hanger. All right. Put some glue on the bottom there and just fold it over and push your silicone pad down so you don't get burned. And this is also silicone, so it releases it nicely. All right. Now, this poor thing. You can, before you put those on, you can put a flower on, make it look a little better. I'll probably end up taking this apart and redoing it, but it's just to show you. And then you just glue them on. Now the thing you have to be careful here is that you have the same height on both sides when you glue them on. The first one don't matter where you glue it too much, just where you want it. And then the second one you kind of got them matte. I think I'll bring this down lower. The second one you kind of got to match, you know, right along here. You want to know that they're about the same height. So when you put in your hanger, okay, let's play with lace for an hour. Let's see. Glue, getting stuck to glue. Okay, see, that looks pretty good. So I'm going to put that there. There. All right, and you're done. Oh, no, you're not done. Excuse me. No, for the red ones that had a big ruffle coming out, what I did was I cut out a piece of red felt, but I cut the bottom bigger than the pattern. I cut the pattern at the top the same, but not the bottom, and I'll show you what I mean. Okay, so bring this over a little bit. Okay, so I am going to cut it the same length. I want to be right there. But then I'm just going to go outside of this and go up to the waist. And you'll see why in a minute. Let me cut this off. And then we're going to go over here and just cut it right around the pattern for the top. Glue everywhere. Glue, glue, glue. Okay. And over here, wider. And then we're going to take this off here. And you can trim this up when you get it on there, and I'll show you that. Okay. So this doesn't have to be perfect because you will trim it. Okay, so that's kind of what you look like for the back of the ones if you're going to put a big ruffle. So what I do is I go over here and I try to match up, you know, the waist. And I'll put a little glue in here. And then I'll run me some glue down the sides. Another glue stick. Hey, I remembered my glue stick. Wow. Okay. And then I'll just turn it over and trim. And that's the best way I found to do it, because you can't know what your ruffles, how wide they're going to be or anything, till after you are done. And then there's no really way to measure them perfectly. So I found the best thing to do is just give yourself some room. And then just trim it off. And then you've got a nice finished back. You have your sleeves on, straps, whatever, and you're totally covered. Now for these, these three here, what I did for the backs, I used the pattern exactly. I cut the pattern out exactly out of paper, cardstock, and it worked fine because what I did different, well, no, I didn't do anything differently. I didn't glue on all of them. I glued under, but not around. You know what I mean? I took, can't see it because I got it covered, but I took, the top ones I glued around, but like two of these, I glued them, here you can see this one, to the edge, not around. Even this one I did to the edge. I didn't go around. To the edge. But it's okay because it's just lightweight. This one looked kind of crazy with just a little piece on it, so I made it bigger. So really it's up to you, whatever particular taste you have. I think of them hanging on the tree and what it's going to look like from the other side. And that's, you know, this is okay with me. But if I had a lot of, because this stuff has ragged edges. And I just didn't want to see that. So that's why I covered it up so big. And it kind of looks like a dress on this side as well. You could actually put some Chanel yarn here. And you could put a trim here and a flower and you'd be fine. Okay, so where are we next? Oh, the hanger. And then I'm going to show you the paper. Okay, for the hanger, you're probably going to think I'm crazy. But what I do is, I don't need this glue gun here. Let me move this. Okay, there. I get a piece of paper and fold it in half, and I take a pipe cleaner. And I use the metallic ones. I haven't tried it with the regular chenille on the pipe cleaners, the chenille pipe cleaners. So, it might work and it might not. I don't know. But what I do is I trim them down. Let me show you how close, how narrow. There's not a lot of... See the difference in size? If I were to put that in there, you can use it just like this. It's no problem. But I like to trim mine down. So what I do, and I'm not going to do the whole thing because I've already got one done. I just cut off these, the fuzzy, the frayed, the edges. I just cut them off. And that's why I need something down here because I don't want to get it all over. And then I throw it into my garbage can. Or into some glitter, which just adds a little bit more sparkle. So you got to do all sides, and it's about 9 inches that you need. These are 12 inches, but you need about 9 inches to make the hanger. And I just think I don't know, I just like it. It's your own personal taste. So what I'm going to do with this one, I'm going to show you how. So I take this and I put them, I don't do it that way, this has got to go. Okay. I come over here and put this through both sleeves. And you kind of got to eyeball it, And the chenille stem is going to be tricky and stick on you, which is frustrating, but... Oh. Oh. Okay, so you get it through at about, I'd say that's about 2.5 inches. And you bend one this way, and you bend the other one this way. Keep it like that. Kind of close it up like a hanger. You know what a hanger looks like. And then you want to wrap your excess around here. And then I take my needle nose pliers, well, my wire cutters, and I kind of grab this and make a bend like a hanger. Then I clip it off. And there you go. You have a hanger. Now, these are handmade, obviously. So, but I still think they're pretty good. I think they're cute. You can make the hanger. Some of them I made small. Look at this one. I made it small. Don't ask me why. I don't know. They all come out differently. I think the red are smaller. But anyways, or maybe I put the loops too far apart. That's a very good possibility as well. Okay, so you want to make sure you think about that when you're putting your loops onto your dress, how far apart, because on this one, I really kind of stretched it out that way. So you got to be thinking about that. Now those are already pre-made because they have the red hangers. Okay, so for the paper ones, very simple. I cut out my pattern out of, you can do book pages, music page, whatever you want. And then I cut a piece of paper. It's approximately 8.5 inches wide, like an 8.5, 11, by 3 inches, okay? Because that's what this length is here. This is 3 inches. So you want to make it the same length. Unless you want it longer, then of course you can make it longer. Then I just make a fan. You know how to make a fan. We used to make those in school. And I do the whole 8.5 inches. I don't measure, I just do, because unless it's getting out of hand. Okay, and I have a little extra there, so I'm just going to cut it off. It's not quite big enough to make it into a fold. So you put that there. Now you have kind of like an accordion, and you have to squish them down, and you have to play with it a little bit. The paper does not like to do this, because you got to make it do it. If you want to do ruffles, you don't have to do paper ruffles. You can do fabric ruffles with no problem. But see how I just keep pressing them down, pressing them down. They're getting the hint. I want them to go down. I don't want them standing straight up. And then I mess with it. I'll be honest with you, I do mess with it. Right? Like we would anything else. We're going to mess with the ruffles until they behave and do what we want them to do. And they do eventually, They do. Okay. Then I'm going to take my glue gun and I'm just going to go like that. And like that. And I'm going to cut off excess, okay? You don't need to keep it all on there. You can pull some of it and make it... I'm still messing with it, you know what I mean? Still messing with it, but that's why I put a flower here, because it covers a lot. And I also inked all this with vintage photo. After I cut it out, before I put it together, I inked it, and inked it with vintage photo. You can ink it with anything you want, or you don't have to ink it. It's up to you. Okay, so now I'm just going to do one of these things and one of these things. It's going to turn out okay, and I don't exactly like that fold there, so I'd go back. I'm not going to do it on camera now. But anyways, for the sleeves, as I call it, I just ripped some of the music paper. I ripped 2 pieces. I tried to keep them the same width. This one is obviously terrible. So when that happens, when I want something the same width, I'll fold it and then rip it. It seems to behave a little better then, and rips a little more even. So this is terrible. Okay. There. And what I would do is rip another piece that looks just like it, or that's the same size. I will glue it together, and then I glue it on the back. And on here, I cut out this pattern and put it here. But you see, I must have made it a little longer. Wow. Well, you know, you do have to adjust because things change. When you're using glue and you're using folds and you're using stuff, fabric, paper, it all changes. But make it the way you want it and work with it, play with it. It still is faster than trying to sew together or do a bunch of strips, or, you know, some of the elaborate gowns or dresses that we make. These work, and they're pretty, and they are fast. Once you do the first one, you'll be easily into the next one and the next one and the next one. I had no problem making these. I made these all in one night, and I had no problem doing it. And it was my own pattern, a new pattern. I didn't get any instructions from anyone else. I made my own. So that counts too. So I hope that you have we'll go to my Facebook group, and if you're in my group, the pattern will be there for free. And it'll be pinned at the top of my group. And you can save it to your computer. Let's see. Save it to your computer. Right-click on it and save it to your computer. Print it out, cut it out, and make your own dresses. Okay? These are really fun. They really are. I'm just a klutz when I'm on camera. I get too pressured. And I shouldn't, but I do. So, and this one I think is my favorite. This would go nice in a journal. The reason I gave you a smaller one is so you can put one in a journal if you want to. If you've got a Christmas journal, you could put one of those in there. I think these might be a little too thick. But you can do whatever you want to do. It's your stuff, and you can do it. So, I'll be seeing you probably next week sometime with some new things to show you. I hope you have a wonderful Thanksgiving, and thanks for stopping by. If you like this video, please give me a thumbs up, and if you're not subscribed, please subscribe. Thank you. See you next time.